What I think the U.S. needs to pursue in tandem with Gusto is sectoral bargaining. In a sectoral bargaining model, it's sometimes called multi-employer models or industry models. Basically, everyone who works in an industry, which can be a small or large industry, is brought under a labor agreement. So this used to be called the tripartite because the idea is that you would have a worker representative, a business representative, and a government representative on a board that would negotiate wage and working condition floors for whoever is in an industry.
So do we ever have this in the United States?
Yeah. We had it after World War II. We had a bunch of them. We called them the tripartites or the wage boards. But yeah, you would have much of your minimum working conditions and wages organized on a sector by sector level. And the benefits of it is that it's a lot more coverage, even if it has less teeth. And it sets like wage and working conditions that are very specific to the sector, meaning that sectors that are small and wouldn't necessarily influence national labor policy can still see improvements in their working conditions that are really specific to them. So like you wouldn't necessarily have a piece of legislation that is going to dictate the rota schedule and workload of nurses. But a wage board could do that and be a way to make improvements industry-wide, and basically everybody in the industry has to adhere to it. I mean, the reason it has a lot of conservatives love sectoral bargaining because you still have like competition between firms. You don't have like if one of them becomes enterprise and the other one doesn't, then they're competing on this union side. And it covers everyone. I think the worry from the labor side is that a lot of the benefits to unionization, there's a worry that they would be lost if it was too diluted amongst like an industry-wide board. So like unions are incredibly good at making sure labor law is followed. But the safest workplaces in the U.S. are going to be the ones that have a unionized shop because they are protected from, say, retaliation if the union makes a complaint about safety as opposed to like just one guy. And so they're pretty good at enforcing and having labor law enforced. But the benefits to an industry-wide board would be, it would get around things like really weird employer subcontracting ownership structures that can be used to shield liability.
Oh, like you're bringing in contractors to do the cleaning in your hotel and they're not your employees, that kind of thing?
Exactly. They're not my employees, so I don't pay for them. And, if they employed children, like that wasn't on me. Right? Whereas if you have an industry-wide labor agreement, it doesn't matter which is the employer in the industry. Like this is the labor agreement that your hotel has to follow because it's a hotel labor agreement. And it's set by, so on and so forth. It's set by the wages. It's set by workers. It's set by the employers, and it's set by the government. Now, why tripartites fell apart in the U.S. and we didn't, even though we had these in the 30s and 40s, why they fell apart is it's a little like it depends on whether or not you're liberal or a conservative. Conservatives tend to say it's because unions like the UAW felt like they were a threat to their power. And so they encouraged the abandonment of sectoral bargaining in order to concentrate power amongst enterprise bargaining because the unions wanted all the power. Liberals would say that sectoral bargaining agreements were starting to come into industries that employed Black people, and that conservatives did not want Black people to be empowered with higher wages or working conditions. So you can take your pick. No winners there. But if it really matters to you to blame someone after the Taft-Hartley Act of 1947, you go pick your hero.
Or your villain.
Go pick your villain. Go pick your hero. Go pick your villain. I mean, I think the upshot is that this was something that we had in the U.S. and it was popular and effective. If it went away, it wasn't for a good reason or any reason that would make us think that. I mean, if the reason why it went away.
Yeah, neither of those are great reasons. Yeah.
It's not like, but it turns out it didn't work here. It's like, okay, so it empowered a lot of people and someone was upset about it. Sounds all right to me. You know what? That's weird. My pulse didn't even go up a little bit when you said that.